Sparky's back, like he never left.
That's right.
Yes, sir, because he didn't.
That's right.
We are going to be doing the Benelli M4 clone, the Turknelli. From Turkey. So we're going to be finding out whether or not it is actually worth that $450 price tag. So before we dive into the Benelli M4 clone from Panzer Arms, I want to tell you guys, big thank you for 50,000 subscribers. We're doing a giveaway right now. So if you go to takesomeoneoutdoors.com/links, you can find at the very top is the giveaway button. You just click it, enter. Super simple, super easy to enter the giveaway. We really appreciate it. We're giving away, you know, a stag rifle, HRT tactical plate carrier, and primary arms optics. So real quick, go check that out because
don't want to miss that.
Don't want to miss that. The Turknelli, you know, the Benelli M4 clone. Benelli's patent ran out finally, and on the market here in the last couple years, I wouldn't say this is like super new, but it's definitely within the last like 5 years.
Yeah.
Benelli M4 clones have been coming out on the market. You know, a real Benelli M4, it's like almost $2 grand. It's like 1,800 bucks. And the Benelli M4 has been out since, I think it was designed in 1998. Marine Corps adopted it and officially put it into production in like 1999. And then it was called like the M10 something. I'm not sure what the actual designation, but it's been the M4 forever.
It's a mainstay for law enforcement too.
Yeah, mainstay for law enforcement. And it's used by all sorts of militaries and, you know, law enforcement around the world. And even for a home defense for civilian purposes, you know, if like your normal homie that wants to spend $2 grand on a tactical shotgun. So when this version came out, I kind of put it off for a long time. And then here recently, I was like, you know what? I really want to make a video on it. We have pumps on the channel. You have your 870. I have a Mossberg 500. And I really wanted to get a semi-automatic tactical shotgun. So I was like, instead of going out and buying a $2,000 version, I was like, I'll just buy the $450 version. And try it first, you know, to see if it'll run, see how it worked, if it worked, you know, and compare it to like a Benelli M4, because I've shot one, and see how much it stacks up to it being, you know, similar to it.
For almost a quarter of the price.
Yeah, almost a quarter of the price, which is the big thing because, you know, and if you don't want a $2,000 shotgun and you still want something that's semi-automatic, maybe this is an option if it works.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be affordable compared to the Benelli. You're going to see a lot more people buying these.
Or have the ability to buy these.
Yeah, exactly.
Because maybe they don't want to spend $2 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
So to talk a little bit about it, there's not a whole lot to it. It's inertia. I think it's the Argo system, which I'll check the notes because there's a very specific acronym. Auto-regulating gas operation. So it's inertia driven, so it's fed off of recoil
essentially.
And it's 5+1, or you could ghost load it and get 7 total, I think. 18.5-inch barrel, you have ghost ring sights. I mean, it's very much a Benelli clone. It looks
just like it.
Just like it.
This one's fixed stock as opposed to a telescopic.
Yeah, so actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Panzer actually does make both options.
Okay.
If you have bought the fixed stop version, you can buy it for like next to nothing. I think it's like 50 bucks or something like that. It's super cheap to buy the telescoping stock. I actually bought this one at Palmetto, and when I bought it, they didn't have the telescope. I just bought this one. I think I paid, Palmetto had it for like $420, which was an awesome deal. If you want to check out any of Palmetto's stuff, you can go to takesomeoneoutdoors.com/links and click Palmetto's button. It'll take you to the daily deals, and which they do this one all the time.
Oh, I've seen it quite a bit.
Yeah.
This one also has screw and chokes.
Yeah, it does.
So if you wanted to use it for multiple things, you can.
And I was looking on Benelli's website, so I don't have an actual M4. I've shot one, but I don't have one. I think the chokes for the Benelli, you have to buy them separately. So that sucks.
You buy a $2,000 shotgun, and you gotta buy chokes for it, and them chokes are not cheap. Like the Benelli, was it the mobile chokes, I think, are for the Benellis? Those are not cheap. Depending on what you get. Like you can buy some Carlson chokes for 20 bucks a pop, but.
Well, any Benelli accessories are really expensive, you know? And that's part of the reason why this is so great is because, you know, it's not expensive.
It's affordable.
It's affordable.
And you're getting this, you know, almost the same thing. Quality might not be there.
No,
you know, quality is not. I mean, a $450 shotgun compared to a
$2,000 shotgun.
Real quick. Yeah, it's not the same, but like it's still darn close. And your average Joe is not gonna
run this thing to the point of blowing it up.
The failure that this would come as opposed to a guy kicking indoors.
Yeah,
it's, you know,
and uses it for his job.
Exactly. Now, like I said, if I was law enforcement, obviously it's more likely to be provided by the department, depending on the department. But if I had to say, I'm like, oh yeah, give me the real one. Yeah. Just because I don't want my life hung up on the
knockoff version.
Exactly.
And you brought up a good point. Maybe it's not Benelli quality, but you know, for the most part, I mean, it has a good rubberized grip on it. I think it's pretty sweet. It's got, a little butt pad right here. Fixed stock, all synthetic.
Sling mount.
Well, two different ones.
Stud and then
the loop through.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
So
but I would say for $150, it's not a bad deal. You know.
And you get the rail on top. Of course, the normal one comes with the rail, but a lot of semi-automatic shotguns don't come. You know, you can put a red dot on it. You know,
some are tapped, some are ready to go. I know, like when I bought my Remington Versamax, it's ready to go for a rail, and I think my 870 is not. But depending on obviously your higher end ones you got a better chance of being drilled.
I don't know. The higher end ones have a better chance of probably making you buy it and then get it drilled.
Depends. It just
it's up in the air.
Yeah,
really.
It just depends on your manufacturer.
But you can easily put a red dot on this thing and have fun with it. And honestly, that's probably the best.
Would you run a shell holder on the side?
Would I?
Yeah, would you? If it could, I would assume it could.
I'm assuming there's some way to get that done.
Someone's bound to make one for it.
Oh, speaking of shells, 3-inch shells.
Up to 3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, up to 3-inch shells. We got some right there. Let's talk about how it's performed. And before we do, we were running this HRT Tactical shell holder here. Big shout out to HRT. They've been a super big supporter, and they sent out the shell holder for shotgun videos and future shotgun content. So big shout out to them. Yep. Interesting enough, this one actually had problems out the gate. I got this thing, and immediately with my cheap ass went and bought
target
loads, low brass target loads, and I bought everything from these were Federal. I had Winchester, I think. I don't know. This is
all Federal.
No, this was Federal too, but I bought like a few boxes of Winchester. I bought everything Royal King had in terms of variation because I was like, well, maybe one will be a little bit hotter than the next one, or no, it wouldn't work at all.
But that is not specific to this shotgun.
No, but the people at Black Aces claimed theirs would run out of the box.
I would love to see it. Well, unless they're breaking it in before they send it to you. Because I think semi-automatic shotguns are going to have that issue right out the box anyway. Yeah. Gas-operated ones, not as much out of the box. But inertia, you got to break the thing in, especially if you want to run target loads to it. You're going to have to break it in pretty well because I don't know what they recommended as far as like break-in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you gotta break in with some high brass stuff to get it going.
Well, it finally broke in at about 50 rounds of high brass, and then I got to the point where I could like functionally cycle the low brass stuff pretty good. So if you don't feel too discouraged about it, especially if it's like your first semi-automatic shotgun.
That's a common thing.
Yeah, which this is my first semi-automatic shotgun. Okay. So I was kind of hoping it was going to pop out of the box and go straight, but it didn't. But it's all right. It works now. So about 50 rounds of high brass, and you're good to go. Now it'll eat anything that you put in it.
Which that's encouraging because that's what Benelli's known for. That their shotguns, once broken in, will shoot whatever you put in them.
Yeah. So other than that, the thing is running fine. It's ran good. Like I said, it works. Yeah. And I mean, for $450, that's what you're really shooting for. Now, the only thing I can think that might have made it work a little bit better is some basement operator apparel.
That's right.
Yeah. So you should go check out Basement Operator. It probably won't make your gun shoot better, but you will feel more comfortable at the range or wherever you're at while you're wearing it. So go check us out. It's the biggest way we support the channel, and we'd really appreciate it if you go check it out and take a look. BasementOperator.com or the link in the description.
Better click it.
Better click it. So back to the Benelli Sparky. Do you think it's worth the money? Do you think it's worth the actual 450 smackarooskies? Or do you think they should just
save their money and get the real one?
Save their money and get a real one, or not even necessarily get a real one, get a different semi-automatic tactical shotgun.
There's a lot of companies like Mossberg. I mean, the 590.
Or just get a pump.
Yeah, or just get a pump. You know, I'm an advocate of the pump. Yeah, you know, I like them all, but I know pump. like we talked about in one of the last videos, you can, I don't know, it can be easier to operate, but at the same time, you ain't got to worry about it jamming as much.
Yeah.
But that's not an issue that this is going to have very often, because how many times is it jammed on you once it's broken in?
It hadn't jammed at all since it's been broken in.
Exactly. Yeah, pump, you can come out cheaper. The way my pump is set up, it's not. But
no, it's not.
But out of the box, plain Jane, tactical.
You can get a tactical like Mossberg 590.
Or the standard 870 Express Tactical for like $400.
Yeah.
Ish, depending on where you find it. So it's $50-ish cheaper. But I would say the quality is going to be slightly higher because you're buying a more name brand shotgun.
Yeah. And you might feel better about it too. Confidence is kind of overlooked a lot when it comes to like firearms and brand names. Like a lot of people, you know, I'm one of them, like just because it has a brand name doesn't mean it's better, but maybe you feel it's better and consequently you do better with it.
It's not so much I feel better about it, it's I don't have any doubt. I don't have as much doubt that I'm like, okay, this thing is going to perform because this company is known for its performance.
Yeah.
So that confidence in the back of your mind's like, okay, I can rely on this thing. And so you have a little more confidence about it. Now, something like this that's not as, I mean, Panzer, I don't know how long they've been around, but.
Made in Turkey.
Yeah. I mean, but.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the confidence can be a factor. It can be a factor in your performance because you may or may not shoot better because you're confident about your gun, but just because you're cocky about it doesn't mean you're gonna hit it.
Here's how I feel about it. I think this is a great shotgun to buy and dip your water in, or dip your toes in the water. Dip your water. Dip your toes in
get some water out. Wait a minute.
Dip your toes in the water in the semi-automatic shotgun realm. It's cheap and it's fun. If you don't like it, or if you have, you know, second thoughts about it, you're only out $450 and you still have a good semi-automatic shotgun to have fun with. Put a red dot on it, you know, take it out and shoot it with your buddies or with the family, whatever you may want to do with it. So it could still be a good option there if you don't fall in love with it as a tactical or home defense shotgun. I'm probably with you on the side of buy the pump first, and you know, you can get used to that, feel comfortable with it, or you can just buy this outright
and just learn it
and become comfortable with it. So that's another thing, is maybe if you don't have the confidence to begin with, you use it enough, you shoot it enough, and you practice with it enough, and you develop it and kind of get your foot and, you know, run with it from there.
And I'll be honest with you, I was a little skeptical.
Oh yeah, he was talking mad smack about it.
I was a little skeptical. I was like, why would you waste $450?
And now he's like,
on this one, and why don't you just save that and get the real one, you know? I'm not one to settle, so I'm like, I'll just wait and get the real one. But I'm like, you know what?
It's pretty cool. For $450, you know.
I think $450, it's a decent deal. Like, you're not, I don't know. I just say it's not a bad deal, $450. I've been impressed with it so far.
But he still loves his 870.
870 is something about it, man. Something about it. That universal get out my house sound. I don't know. Ooh, I think it's a good deal, $450.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be afraid.
I'm not disappointed in my purchase. And that's another thing. Panzer didn't send this out. They don't know who I am. This was completely like one of the things that I wanted to bring to you guys. And there's not a ton of content out on the internet about it. There was I think it's like TFB. Do you know him? He's a YouTuber. And then Classic Country, or not Classic Country. Oh shoot, Classic Firearms. They sell a lot of these, and they talk about it too. These Turkish shotguns. So there's not a whole lot of content, and I wanted to get it out there and bring it to you guys because I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to know about it. So I was like, I'll buy it and I'll
figure it out.
I'll figure it out myself. So
I think it's I can't go wrong with it. You know, obviously, you know you can spend the money on the nicer ones, but I think $450 is not a bad deal.
It brings tactical semi-automatic shotguns to more people, and that's what's important. Now, if it breaks, I'll let you guys know. But so far, it hasn't broke. I have about 250 rounds through it. I took it up to the range the other day with Lane, and we shot it a ton.
Oh yeah.
So.
It's definitely fun.
I mean, I don't have 1,000 shotgun rounds through it, but I have, you know, about 100 and some rounds of, you know, double-aught buck, and we shot this until we broke it in, and then we just shot, you know, the junk stuff out of it, just to shoot it and see if we could get it to do anything weird like it did at the beginning, and I didn't have a problem with it. So I mean, It is a blast. It's fun. Yeah. So we really appreciate it. I think we're going to wrap it there. We want to tell you about one last thing. If you wanted to ever see like the behind the scenes or kind of stuff we do, or like the horrible outtakes we have, or the bad corny jokes that don't get left in,
stuff that gets removed just in case.
Yeah, you should go check out the Patreon. We're kind of just starting it up right now, so we'd really appreciate it if you go check it out. I got 2 different categories. We got for the homies, which is $6.90, and we also have, you know, the real basement operators, which are $25. So either or, you know, it's just to help kind of fund these videos more, or you can always just check out basementoperator.com and buy merch. That also works. But and we're hoping to bring you guys more behind the scenes, different content than what you're getting on YouTube. We might start up the podcast again and put it on there. I don't know.
Podcast was a lot of fun.
Podcast was a lot of fun. But we're trying to branch out, and we're trying to find better ways to get you guys more stuff, cooler stuff, and stuff you want to see. So we really appreciate it. Make sure to check me out on Instagram, and we'll see you on the next one. As always, take someone outdoors. Peace.